common things that show up. Ready? Hold on. Okay. Privacy, relationships. Oh, there's the M. Okay. Masturbation and self-exploring. Body image and how it impacts self-esteem. We can sum this up by saying, am I normal? We're going to talk a lot about what that means. Puberty, periods for girls, wet dreams for boys, same thing. Okay? It's the body's marker that, oh boy, here we go. Okay? And sexual attraction and feelings, so the first crush. And we're going to talk about each of these individually because they're exciting adventures to come. So, privacy. If you don't have a keep out sign on a door in your house, then you are getting one soon. Okay? So it's really common for tweens to often start wanting their privacy. Around age 7, it can start. And this can sometimes panic parents a little bit because it may come on very suddenly. It's like, you know, you go to walk in the bathroom and it's like, ah, I'm in here. You know, and they're fully clothed, but you're, you know, it's like, I don't know what's going on. You know, or you go to bring their laundry in their room as you've done 1,000 times, and you know they're in their underwear, and it's like you've just violated something terrible. And a lot of parents will say, "Did something happen? Like, why are they so upset?" No, in all likelihood they didn't. This is very common reaction for them to have. I remember walking in. My daughter has. There's 4 of them that have been best friends for years, but there was 3 of them at my house. There were 9, and they were getting ready to go swimming. And I went in her room to bring towels, and there was one of them behind, she has curtains on her bed, changing, one in the closet with the door shut, and then the other one in the room, and I walk in, it's like shrieks from all 3 of them. It's like, what are you doing? We're putting on our bathing suits, you know, and they're 9. Like, you know, there might as well have been 3. Like, there was nothing there. So, you know, it was just, I was like, oh, okay, we've hit privacy. That's what's going on. So it often will show up in those kind of situations. They often become much more introspective. They really want their own space. You'll find them going off and wanting to be by themselves. And it can be worrying at first because you're thinking, where are they? And what are they doing? And why are they so quiet? You know, that was usually the alarm bell. They're way too quiet. They're sticking something in a light socket. They're doing something. You know, they've put a pillow in the Easy Bake Oven. They're doing something they're not supposed to. I say that because they did. Well, they actually put crackers in it, and then they put pillows on top of it. This is what boys do with girl toys. They put pillows on top of it to hide it, and all I could smell was burnt bread. I didn't know what was going on, and it was like, oh, great, the whole living room's going to be on fire in a minute. So quiet always makes you nervous, but it's really common for them to want to have their own space, to have an opportunity to go off, to be a little more self-reflective. They may actually, as they get older in this phase, may start getting a little quieter than they were. I know for some of you, you're going, oh, really? Something to look forward to. But they, you know, not blurting out everything. They may be more thoughtful, and there may be things that you can tell their wheels are turning and they're mulling stuff over. And again, it depends on the personality of the child. Something that comes up with this is also casual nudity. Now, every family has their own standard for nudity and what's appropriate. And sometimes it's cultural, sometimes it's family-oriented. This is always an adventure if you have adults in the family and someone's a nudist and someone isn't. So if you have the, I don't mind running through the house in a towel or just my underwear, you may suddenly have a child who's like, oh my God, what are you doing? I need therapy now, Mom. You know, and they're, yeah. Some of you are going, that's my kid. So, and this is where you'll start to see some changes. So if you've had a nudist till now, you may discover that they're no longer a nudist, or they're a nudist extraordinaire all of a sudden. So this is where those issues come up. And this is where they may ask questions, or they may get exposure to other kinds of cultures. I have a friend, and she gives me permission to share this story about, she's Finnish, and her family often went in the sauna. I have to say that right, because I want to say sauna, but it's sauna. And she talks about it was perfectly normal for them to all go in the sauna. They didn't wear clothes, they didn't wear bathing suits. And then she married somebody very English, very proper, and there was no way he said he was getting in that sauna with her grandmother naked. It was not happening. Just made him really nervous. So, You know, it can be a cultural thing, and it's also an age thing. So something that may have been comfortable for them before may not be comfortable for them now. So be cognizant of that, and you know, if it means you have to go put your robe on, Dad, if you're not a robe guy, you know, or, you know, it doesn't mean you have to start getting undressed in the closet with the door closed. It just means be conscious of, you know, things that they need. So it's a really good opportunity for us as parents to discuss privacy. It's also a time when they may be going on sleepovers more, going away to camp, going on swimming lessons, things where there's other people with other standards. And so it's an opportunity to have that conversation. It's a great time for you to role model respect. So if you're actually, you know, are you walking in without knocking? And would you like that to happen to you? You know, so it's keeping in mind those things that I know they're your children and their bodies belong to us. And we feel the need to check and inspect every crack and cranny and crevice when they're little. We got to back off a little now and start letting them have their bodies. It's also the time when we can be talking about what's appropriate touching issues. And we're not going to get into that tonight because that's a session unto itself. But this is that opportunity to have those conversations. Very important.